Well, welcome into the channel, Tennessee Podcast. It is April the 13th, the year 2025. What a wild weekend on Rocky Top. There is never a dull moment on the hill in Knoxville, Tennessee. Nico is out. Who will replace him? The Tennessee baseball team takes care of Ole Miss, and their fans are pissed. And I love it. Their fans are angry. They talked all that smack yesterday after tying up the series. They thought they had us beat, and then they didn't. And now they're mad. And I'm glad. But let's talk, my friend. Let's talk about the crazy weekend that happened in the city of Knoxville, Tennessee. Where do you want to start, Austin? I'm kind of curious because I know where I want to start. What's biggest topic around? We haven't had a chance to talk about it because it happened this weekend. But let's roll.
Well. This is it's gotta be honest. I mean, I heard some whispers of his camp wanting more money, but I kind of thought it would all get settled, But that didn't happen. He just that Nico Camp just kept whispering more, mainly his big fat dad, Big Nick, fat SOB, loser, wanted to live off your child's earnings.
I like that because I feel like this fan base, it can say whatever the hell they want. You can say whatever you want. There's no holds barred. You can say what you want. They did us dirty. Nico, I kind of feel bad for him because I don't think he's a bad kid, but his family, when you control your kid's life that much, dude, you have the right to say what you just said, Austin, you fat SOB, you loser, you, for me, bum. But there is no fan base, no social media outlet, nothing that disagrees. We're all agreeing here. Everyone.
Do you know how wild that is?
That is insanity.
Like I'm pretty sure Tennessee could cure cancer, and they'd be like, yeah, but they're really stupid. They're Tennessee. Screw them. Go to hell. But no. This thing right here, people are so sick of players demanding unbelievable NIL numbers that just do not consist of their market value. That we got people taking our side. Like, good for Tennessee here. Good for Tennessee. Not letting them get bullied into paying a guy more than he's worth. Let someone stupid pay him that. Let Lincoln Riley go 8-4 or 7-5 with him, and go lose up at, I don't know, Indiana, and have fun with that. Have fun with that. Lincoln Riley, you're the most middle of the road coach with Heisman winning quarterback somehow. I don't know how you do it, but let him go do that if that's really what's on the table. But the nation and everyone here agrees that the right decision was not going to be completely getting bent over a table by Big Nick and giving every dollar they demand. We got Nico because he was because we were willing to pay him more than anyone, because that's what we thought he was worth. That's honest to God. We thought that's what he was worth. But last season, I mean, it would be different if he was top 5 in every QB stats out there. If he led our team, if he never had a moment of failure, I mean, just if he was Hendon Hooker for us, basically, then yeah, pay him that. Maybe pay him more than that. Honestly, that would be my real opinion. Any dollar, I mean, outside of, like, I don't know, 10 million, you can demand that.
Zach chimes in from Twitter. Can't believe Nico Lane Kiffin us. I have his jersey in every color. Here's
Zach.
Here's I know, but here's the Rainey effect here when it comes to jersey buying. You never buy a jersey until they have retired from your program. Or you can buy, NFL's different, but you never, ever. I always buy jerseys. If I'm buying a jersey, I'm going to buy from like a player that has already been done legendary things at my school or team, things that you can't undo. They've already been done. They've been there. They've been great. They've done well. That's when you buy a jersey. But what Zach did,
Man.
you got to learn from that now, guys. Don't ever buy a player's
Oh.
jersey that comes out for NIL ever, because
That's rough.
that's rough, Zach. I'm sorry, buddy.
I mean, you don't even know if he was that good. I mean, did he do anything last year to really demand a jersey sale? I mean, I don't know, man. That's wild. I named my bird Nico, but that's a bird.
Dr.
I got a lay.
Dr. just
I don't know what to
commented.
do with it, but
Dr. just commented, "What's worse, having Nico's jersey or having a bird named after Nico?" If no one knows, Austin's bird is named Nico because
not anymore. That
What-
bird is not
what-
named Nico.
what's he gonna respond to? Like, I
He
mean,
has-
is he gonna be
he's a-
confused?
He's a fucking bird.
Oh my
I mean, I thought it
God.
worked because he's a quarterback, and birds are tropical. Nico's tropical, whatever. Yeah, blah blah blah. It's over now.
Angry Ball Mom says, "I bought a JJ Peterson jersey." I don't believe you. I do not believe you.
I want to believe that. Oh God, I want to see. There is somebody who bought that. Like, you can go on the Ball Shop website and request any rostered player. I bet there's someone who did it just to be so ironic
Mhm.
to have a JJ Peterson jersey. I love it.
Yeah, but anyway, back to
Nico and
back,
him made about
back-
the same same amount of impact, to be honest.
Yeah.
but-
pretty much. But back to the topic of the whole Nico thing. We were saying that everyone is agreeing. Like, there isn't one person that disagrees with this whole situation, and I just the
there's
first
one, there's one fat person that disagrees, but okay.
Yeah, the first red flag that ever came across like even crossed my mind of like, hey, this is kind of weird, is when his parents would name search his name after games and go after our fan base. That's when you knew that there was a problem with his parents and the people around him, even like his cousins or whatever. I don't remember who it was, but his dad specifically would always come after people after a game. He would name search his kid's name and then come after our fan base. So good luck to anyone who wants to go ahead and sign the kid, because you're going to have a freaking problem with that psychopath of a dad. And yes, I can say whatever I want. We paid you. We have a player fee. We pay you. We, as fans, have more leverage of what we can say now, in my opinion, because we are paying you. We're
Mhm.
literally, dollars are coming out of our pocket for you.
It's
So
not
you-
if you want to go to the games, it's not an option.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
you could sit there and bitch and cry, Mr. Iamaliava, but you're wrong, and you sound really stupid, and you probably screwed up your kid's entire career.
yeah,
Do you think so?
like, okay, this is weird. A lot of people are saying you can't get on Nico at all for this because it's his dad. And I think there is an element to that, but he did ghost every player, every teammate, every booster. You ghosted them all. You Mortley John Curried them. I think that's pretty low down. And I mean, I heard from people he hadn't like participated in a lot of stuff down the stretch. He was kind of a loner. It just wasn't it. If you're a loner, if you're gonna be like that, if you're gonna not even be able to make any decision on your own, because I know I've been very educated in Polynesian culture recently, but I don't care. You're 20 years old. You can make one decision yourself. You can tell your dad what you want. I mean, maybe you can't in that culture. I don't know. But I'm not gonna let Nico be just all off like, oh, we can't blame him at all. That's not fair. That's not how I want to treat it, because he's a grown man and you are judged on your own decisions. And it was, I mean, he's not here, and that's enough for me. He abandoned his teammates. He abandoned his coaches. He screwed people over here. He absolutely screwed people over here. Like, he put his head coach in a very, very bad spot and it was for selfish reasons. And I think they're all wrong. I think they're just all wrong, and they didn't do what's best for that kid. They didn't do what's best for anyone in the situation. All they want is money. All that father gives a damn about is the dollar signs. That's all he cares about. It was never about what's best for his son, what's going to make his son most happy. It was never any of that. And I just it's a situation where everyone's a loser kind of. But I will
I,
say, I think Tennessee could be okay.
I think we're going to be fine. We're getting a lot of comments right now that I can't share because the comments are rolling in. It's like crazy right now. But I got a lot of people saying, "Look, move on, guys. He's gone." No, shut the fuck up. This is the top story in Tennessee right now. Shut up.
Our
Like,
quarterback left the day before the spring game. This is
go
a
watch
big
basketball or
thing.
something. I don't know.
A quarterback we were paying millions to.
Yeah, it is a big deal. I'm sorry. So it's the biggest thing to happen in Tennessee this entire season. So yes, it is a big deal because it shows you that Josh Heupel has a pair of balls and said, because you better believe that there's going to be more coaches that follow suit after this. There's going to be more coaches that say, "Oh wow, look what Tennessee just did," and this is going to settle the NIL thing. There's going to be some type of cap, some type of contract. It's coming. I'm telling you, because you're watching it unfold right in front of your eyes. The problems of this whole NIL thing, and you saw like Byron Moore came on our podcast a while back, and he called this. He said Nico. He said in December. It was in December that Nico is going to leave. I remember. Do you remember me texting you that?
Yeah,
We were talking about that. Byron.
I thought we dodged that with the late window or the postseason window, but yeah, he's gone. That's wild. I think everyone involved thought they would get it handled. They knew this was a situation, but they thought they'd be able to, reach an agreement. But his dad, from what I understand, he raised the price out of nowhere last second, and it just was dealing like he was dealing with the situation like a complete idiot loser. And I just, if you want to do business with them, power to you, man. Good luck with that. I'm happy to be done here. Like, I fear this for a little while. I feared he'd leave because I did hear the whispers. Everyone heard the whispers. But when it happened, I mean, I know this isn't a real life stress for me, but as a fan, a little bit of a weight was lifted off my shoulder. Like, oh, thank God, that's just, I don't have to worry about it anymore. I don't have to think about it. That's not something I have to use my brain to think about any longer. And it's nice. Like, and that kind of stuff affects your locker room. If a guy's always got one foot out the door and there's always talk of this stuff, it's just unhealthy. And I can't tell you right now for sure that Tennessee will be better in the 2025 season without him, but I do think there is a decent shot that is the case because last season, he was not a bad quarterback. He did not perform poorly last year, but he didn't do anything that blew me away. I mean, how many halves did he not score a single? Do we not have a single offensive point?
A lot.
I mean, I think it was 3 straight weeks against in our
Mhm.
Florida, Bama, and Arkansas. 3 straight weeks we didn't score any points the first half. Maybe his dad had the under since he does what his dad says. But
how crazy is it that Dan Lanning came out and like snitched on them? Oregon's head coach. How crazy is that?
Well,
that he came out, literally called UT and came out and snitched on them like, dude, they're being fishy over here, dude. You better watch them because they're being fishy. And that's where I think it started with Josh Heupel because I know you could tell Josh Heupel in his interview was getting a little emotional about the Nico thing because it got to a point where it was so crazy. But I don't ever think it was Nico. It was his parents. Like, make it like, and like you said, in that culture, I saw a Houston Crest tweet about the culture of being Polynesian, and then what you told me too as well over a text at the time. I thought it was crazy, but the more I looked into it, it's not as crazy because, like you said, their parents tell them things and they got to do it in that culture. And Dan, excuse me, Dan Lanning from Oregon. When you have another coach from another conference all the way across the country telling you to watch out because they're putting their nose where in other places without telling you, they're going behind your back and researching other places to go play. Like that is effed up. And I know it happens, but in what world did you play well enough to get that money? Like, in what planet? Like, who his dad? Like, what are you watching with? You watch him on the field, and you're like, oh man, that's the best quarterback in the country. No, not even close, bro. He's like the middle of the pack in the SEC.
I think in the last season, his stats ranked about 10th best in the SEC at quarterback. He did not blow anyone away. Okay. This is what I think happened. His dad just talked to enough people where he got a number around 4, because it's programs like USC, UCLA, the kind of would just spend on one player and not like try to build around him. It was just, I mean, not that USC doesn't try to build it. I know they do, but it just seems like those teams always, I don't know, just don't seem to live up to their potential. And that's the kind of people that would have paid him. It's so screwed up. I hated that. I did hate seeing that shot of Nico in the airport, because he did look like very unhappy, and it's
Megan chimes in.
It's sad.
Megan chimes in with a reference from the movie Draft Day. Who went to your birthday party, Nico? That's funny. I should call him like, who went to your birthday? I heard no one went to your birthday, Nico. But did you see? Let's talk about another player that used to play with Nico, Caleb Webb. Do you see that? Caleb Webb's tweet. He tweeted out. Caleb Webb tweeted out. I want to get your opinion on this since you didn't see it. Caleb Webb tweeted out, says, "I love Nico," which that's fine. He was your quarterback, and he said, "I completely side with Nico." That's what he said, and he said it wasn't because of money. That's what Caleb Webb said. It wasn't because of money. Do you live on a rock?
How was it not because of money?
Every report in every network of every corner of the United States is reporting the exact same thing. There is no denial to it. That's the whole reason why he left, was because of money. They wanted more money. And for what? That's the crazy part. How do you want more money, especially after you just... I mean, I saw it. Listen, it's crazy to me, this whole situation, and just watching it unfold this entire weekend.
It should be crazy, but it's not that crazy, sadly.
This situation is, because it would not be getting this much media attention if it wasn't, because
just shows you what state the game's in.
But I know, but what's even crazier is he knew he was going to leave. They knew he was going to leave, like his family, none of the coaches and all that stuff. They knew, and they were trying to formulate a plot, in my opinion, of an easy way out. And then news started circulating, and then he just ghosted everyone. That is shadiest stuff.
You don't think they were? I think there was a shot they were just trying to get enough. Like they were trying to get another program to give them the high number, and then go back to Heupel and Heupel's camp and be like, "Hey, this program's offering this much. We're gonna hit the portal if you don't give us it." And they expected us to bend the knee, but Heupel didn't. He basically said, "No, we're not doing that. So you can go F yourself. We'll stick to the number that's on the table. If you want to go somewhere else, go somewhere else." And that's what happened. And that's the situation. And there's no point in just keep looking over the facts. It was a weird little time at UT for him. We paid millions, and now we're in a spot we have 2 quarterbacks on the roster, Jake Merklinger, redshirt freshman, and George McIntyre, former 5-star.
Mm-hmm.
It's but obviously 2 quarterbacks on the roster, a lot of open NIL. I'm pretty certain Tennessee at least is going to add a depth piece, but more than likely, in my opinion, they will add a starter.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going. I'm very certain that I've heard from a lot of people, very powerful boosters at UT are absolutely pissed off, and they're willing to spend a lot of money, probably more than Nico's making here, to go get someone that's legit.
Byron but I want to talk. I want to talk about that too, real quick. But Byron Moore, former Tennessee defensive player, Byron Moore, he just sent me a text. He was supposed to come on the show tonight, but he's at the airport with his kid. He said still at the airport, so I won't be home in time to hop on. But apparently, Nico and his camp are telling everyone they wanted changes to the offense to make him more pro ready. And Tennessee lied to them that they would change the offense and they didn't. What a joke. That's what Nico's camp is apparently trying to.
Oh, give me a freaking break! It's about money. Just stop. I mean, I respect them for trying to change the narrative because obviously the narrative on their end makes them look bad. So obviously they're trying to make it look different. But I really don't think that's the case. I think it was money. It was just money. I'm pretty certain because that family likes to live off their son instead of
read that comment from Zach. Read that comment from Zach on the screen right now.
Are we opposed to bringing back Salter? I mean, I don't think that's happening.
No.
It's at Colorado, and I mean, you want to get? I don't think we're doing that personally.
No,
I think. I mean, we kicked him off the team. So
if there's one guy that I want, it's King from Georgia Tech in the transfer portal.
I have a wish list. Thank you very much. And my top is Haynes King as well.
Okay.
That man is a warrior. That man is a dog. That is a warrior. 24 years old.
Read down your wish list. I want to hear it.
Okay. Number 2, pretty quick. I've seen a few comments. Avery Johnson at Kansas State. Long-haired dude, just had a great year for them. Man, that guy would be awesome here. I just tell you right now. And, I mean, this is a wish list. This is not what I really think is going to happen, but this is my highest expectations. Number 3 on that list is Sam Levitt from Arizona State. As a true freshman, led Arizona State to the playoff. Absolutely balled out. I mean, you couldn't watch that playoff game against Texas and not fall in love with that kid, even though they ended up in the shorthand on it. And number 4 is Luke Altmaier from Illinois. Absolutely great dude. Just balled out for Illinois last year. Think he's a senior. And lastly, this is my highest expectation, guys. The last of those names is Sawyer Robinson from Baylor. Very great for them last year. I think threw over 4,000 yards. Just outstanding. And okay, I will throw lastly the starter from TCU, Josh Hoover. He threw, I think, almost 4,000 yards and 27 touchdowns. Looked great for them last year. I think he'd fit great in this offense. But those are just the names that first come to mind. And some people might say, "Oh, those players aren't in the portal." You get them in the portal.
Yeah, if you offer them enough money, you get in the portal. And I'm going to say this about your list, and we agree with the same thing. Haynes King, dude, that guy's a dog.
That little guy, dude, he would be beloved here. I mean, we love that kid here. He'd be on every T-shirt. He'd be, oh man, every commercial. We love that. We love that kid. That kid would. I think we go back to playoff with that kid.
Yeah, Haynes King is an absolute.
I'm keep calling him a kid. The guy is 3 years younger than me, and probably more of a man than me. Let's be honest.
Does he have a bird? Does he have a bird named Nico?
No, but he has birds flying around his head. If you saw that Georgia game, I mean, that man, they just kept running him and it worked. I mean, they were gaining yards, but every time he just drilled down the ground, and he just get up and keep going.
Yeah,
odds of landing there. Not too sure about that.
I say slim to none at this point. God. Yeah. But yeah, that whole hearing about it from Byron Moore back in December, like it was, I believe, like Byron Moore, I don't know where he gets information from, but he seems to be pretty spot on when he sends me stuff. And he called it. He said back in December, Nico's not going to be here next season. He called it. He's like, he's not going to be here. He's leaving. And like that's back when it started. That's back when the stuff started, the rumors flying. And for his parents to say it's like, oh, we told them, and Tennessee leaked it, buddy. It's been leaking it's been a leaky pipe for a long time. It's been dripping. We're not stupid.
With Big Nick is bipolar as hell. He's just he's an idiot. I will say Nico's making millions. It's his decision. I go back and forth on this because I do hold Nico responsible for a lot of this, but I do kind of feel bad that he's got that big of an asshole of a father having his decisions made for him. Which honestly, like, I mean, if that was my dad, I just couldn't do it. But I know it's his culture or whatever.
Donald chimes in about the Lanny McNair thing. He said could have a couple shots at him.
Okay.
Oh man. Let's.
This reminds me of when Norm Macdonald's making the joke about Steve Irwin. You won't believe who died. The crocodile hunter. Really? Yeah, at the ripe old age of 40, or at 40 something years old. That's a ripe old age for a crocodile hunter.
All right. Well, Nico is out. We've already discussed this. We're about 30 minutes into the podcast. Discuss some baseball or move on or keep talking about Nico's situation here.
Let's just talk about baseball. This whole situation, I mean, it's a high level drama. It's juicy as hell, but let's just, until we know more, we'll know more next week. I absolutely guarantee we'll have a lot more to say next week.
Okay. One more thing about the whole Nico thing. You said you were freaking out when he left. You said there's gonna be like a mass exodus of players. I don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't think that's the case.
I don't think that's gonna happen. I think there will be several that leave. I could see a couple of receivers leaving, and you're gonna have people leave regardless. And I don't think a lot of you've seen social media, you've seen the players on social media of the tight ends, receivers, of pictures of Merklinger and then like hugging him and stuff like that. I don't think there's going to be a big of an exodus.
You said we'll see a couple of receivers hit the portal. I'm like, that's half the room, dude.
No, I just
have you seen a receiver room?
I'm talking about people that won't see the field ever. You're going to see those people leave. Like just the depth, just not really depth.
I haven't heard any of the noise around him, but I just pray to God Mike Matthews sticks here because I think that kid is going to be great next year or this year, I guess. That is the only player I'm like, and I don't know about the offensive linemen because I know a lot of them signed on to protect Nico, but we'll see. I think we're good there. Their NIL will keep them here.
It's
so stupid.
I don't know. I think in the spring game, Mike Matthews showed out. That could be. We'll see. There's no telling. This whole transfer portal thing is a freaking mess. But again, it works both ways. You do lose like a Mike Matthews or somebody like that. You can always go in the portal and find someone else. So it works both ways.
Am I the only one here? Okay. Obviously, we got Faison coming in, and I'm actually really about that dude. I think that dude's going to be great here. I think maybe like number 1 overall pick, great by the time he's done here. But there is something about having like experience over just like raw talent. I would like to have the most talented quarterback in the country. That'd be awesome. But also, I will say, like, when were we at our best? We were led by Hendon Hooker, who's 20-something, like almost 23 years old, and very much has seen it all. And I think that was a big benefit to us in the 22 season and why we were so great. And I think, like, if we land a fifth-year dude, if we land Haynes King, 24 years old, I kind of think that raises the ceiling a bit more on the ceiling on this season. coming up because there's something about okay, it's easy to say what we thought about Nico now that he's gone. If it was negative, like it sounds like we're just having sour grapes. But to be honest, watching Nico, like sometimes it felt like he had all the talent in the world, but he just wasn't a gamer, if that makes any sense. Like I like those guys that might not impress you so much in practice, might not just blow you away with their raw athleticism or just the stuff you get rated on 247 sports for. But the guys who, when the lights are on, they have a different level of DNA. They can just ball out better than like when push comes to shove, those guys are just ready for war.
Hmm.
And then you get guys like Nico, and at times it felt like he was just like, I don't know, it just didn't look right. You know, he just didn't have
Yeah.
that switch that he needed to flip.
Scott Mexico comments and says A to Z Sports, which is one of my buddies in Nashville, A to Z Sports. They do great work. Says Danny White made Josh pull the plug. That's what they're saying. Dude, I don't know anything about that, but I would not be surprised because Danny White is a black and white type dude. And I could understand if Danny White's, you know, Danny White's all about money.
Sorry,
So,
sorry. Oh God, I can't say a joke. Okay, no, I can't say
okay.
it.
But you know, Danny White's all about money. So it's one of those things where Danny White, he doesn't mess around. He says he does what he wants, basically. So I don't know what you're smirking about, but
I just can't say that. What I was going to say.
okay,
Okay.
okay.
Let's but
I mean, do you think that's true? Danny White made Josh Heupel say, "All right, this is enough. Enough's enough." But
I could see him advising him on it and like being, oh, what do you think I should do? But I do think Heupel was just about as done as everyone in the
okay.
situation.
So when he got off the bus at the spring game, did he not look like he was just in a better mood? Like just the way he was walking and he's walking fast, like he was happy. It's like he got a monkey off his back. Like, oh my
Weight
God.
was lifted off his shoulders.
Yes. Like it was a breath of fresh air. Like this is finally done.
Like
I was so tired of it. And
he
it
was
looked
tired
like
of using so much of his brain power to
his
cater to his
energy.
family.
Yes. His energy. It was like his Nico's family was just such a freaking like shit show. And it's like, I'm
And
so
what do you say?
tired of it.
No player is bigger than the power T.
I
Not
love it.
even or no individual. And that's so
Loved it.
true. And you know what? We were treating him like they wanted to be treated like they were the most important person, way more important than the program. And truth of the matter is, you're not. You're not. Tennessee football will be here when you're done, and Tennessee football will be here for years and years to come. Like you're not more important here.
Mm.
You're not more important than the program. And yeah, that is what I heard. Also, the donors were
Yeah.
big mad. The like people
Yeah.
who
Buck.
you answer phone calls. The people who you have to pick up for who were giving them money, they ghosted those donors, and they were they were livid. They were
Yeah.
livid.
That's what Buck Fama asked. Apparently, Nico ghosted money people, and like you said earlier in the podcast, the money people are pissed. They're mad.
People you don't piss off.
You don't want to
Okay,
piss them off.
you know these people's names for what it's worth. Like you don't piss these people off. But that's that. The Let's talk about what I just finished watching and
Yes.
was absolutely awesome. Tennessee
Mm-hmm.
goes into Ole Miss. Speaking of transfer drama, we're bringing back two of their
That
best
was
players,
awesome.
their Friday night ace and their third baseman, or star third baseman, 20 homer hitter. And first night, Liam Doyle goes out there, all the attitude and just don't give an F at it. Just don't like that guy. Just oh man, I love that guy's DNA. He has that Max Scherzer DNA. That little bit of psycho, you see it in his eyes. He's cursing people when they're calling for time. He's just like, I mean, you wouldn't like this guy. You would hate playing against this guy. You would just you talk absolutely max crap about him, but man, you can't. But when he's on your side and he's just throwing gas and just got people looking silly, especially at his old school. That was so awesome. But just the offense didn't show out like I thought they could because they honestly, I mean, the reliever that came in for Ole Miss was doing great, but it felt like they left a lot on the table Friday night. But we ended up getting the 3-2 win because Liam pitches into the ninth inning, sets his career high in strikeouts. One of the best nights of the season so far. And game two, uh, I'm a little down about that one. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, obviously you're the one you lost, but more importantly, my biggest concern is Marcus struggled again. This is back-to-back starts now where he, kind of fell apart. So hopefully against the Wildcats next weekend, he can get back in line with all that. Get back to shoving because he was absolutely looking outstanding before these past 2 weekends. And but you dropped that one, and I think in the seventh, this stuck out to me. We had the bases loaded, no outs in the seventh. We hit into a double play. Dean Curley does, and the next inning we get the base load, don't get anything, and that's ball game. We lose 8-5, and then the following day, Dean didn't have a hit the entire series so far, and he saw himself get moved down from the starting spot, and a lot of people think that is, oh, you're showing you're not having faith in Dean. It's not necessarily that. It's okay, wake up, dude. It's kind of just like it's a little adjustment. It's not meant to show like Dean still might be the best player on this team, but it's kind of like okay, let's try this out for you.
I 100% agree with what Tony did because I texted you last night. I was like, Dean needs to be taken off the top of the lineup and put in the middle of it. Not because he sucks. He doesn't suck at all. He's just in a funk right now. Like he just can't get out of it. But I feel like because leadoff is a lot of pressure because you're the first man that you're trying to get on base. You're trying to set the tone for that inning. And Dean just wasn't getting the job done right now. So I agree. And I like having Dean in the middle, not like the middle of the lineup, basically. I like it because he's deadly still. He can still be deadly. And
I almost like to hold my best hitters to like the 4 or 5 spot. I know that's not really what you should do. And it's not what we'll do, but it's kind of like a sneak attack kind of thing. Like, oh, you think you're safe. And that's almost like I feel like walking away from baseball games sometimes. I feel like that's where we got the most work in is that middle spot. But
this team,
it clearly that adjustment worked to some. I mean, we scored 10 runs today on the road against some good pitching. That was a great game. Hey, okay, number one guy that's getting hell on the team though is Cannon Peebles, and today he goes out there. He goes 3 for 5 with a homer and throws a guy out that's trying to steal. Did have a couple of errors, catching for Snead and Teagan, but outside of that, it was a nice day for him after a pretty bad start to the SEC season for him. So that was really encouraging to see. I mean, you talk about drama. I mean, we go up 7-3 in the I think 6th, and immediately give 3 runs back, and then the following inning we give 2 more runs, give up the lead 8-7. Go into the ninth. First hitter gets walked. They make a pitching change, and Chapman just gets a thing, sends it opposite field, and it just gets over that wall. And man, those are not easy to hit. Small ballpark. No. They're used to the small ballpark, but that was a completely normal field. And Oppo. That was not an easy homer to hit. Chapman actually, I think probably you'd say was the hitting MVP of the series.
Yeah, he was, and he did great the whole series. Fisher, I loved every minute of watching that man in the series.
Man, I want him to get that homer.
He was pissing them anytime that Ole Miss would like make a strike or anything on that man. They would act like they just won the damn Super Bowl or something. Like, I felt like Ole Miss watching their players' reactions, watching them every time they got like an out and they would like lose their minds. I'm like, guys, like they acted like this was the World Series. Like and to watch Fisher go out there, and especially the first night, just lights out pitching, and then going out there and hitting like Fisher did. They're two former players. Like it was, that just like in sports moments where your just blood is boiling. Their blood was boiling.
Oh, I gotta tell you, like if I'm in their shoes, oh my God, I'm hating this. Like I'm so mad because there's nothing worse than a guy. I mean, you are a top SEC baseball school. You just won a natty a couple years ago, and this guy, two of your best starters, just say sayonara after not even bad years for the best program in the conference. And that program comes into your house and beats you 2 out of 3, and those guys ball out, just completely give double birds on your own field. It's that would suck ass. Let me tell you that right now. That suck. I mean, I don't think we've never experienced anything like that really. Adu, they'd be like Adu saying he's coming back in the last second, leaving and just putting like 50 on us. That's kind of the only scenario I could think of.
I feel like
Henry T like getting like 2 pick sixes or something.
Yeah, I felt like they could not stop Fisher from hitting the ball. Every time he looked up, he was hitting it, and he was getting on base, and it was, you can tell because I was in the middle of watching the Masters. By the way, one of the greatest Masters I've ever watched. I was in the middle of watching the Masters, so I was eyeballing the TV, both TVs, back and forth. Was there one point? Was there one point where did they strike Fisher out? Did they strike him out? Do you remember?
Yeah, I think they did. Yeah.
I think they did, and so that's when I think the Masters went on like a little commercial break, and I turned my head and I saw the last strike, and I saw their pitcher act like he just won the damn World Series in Omaha. I'm like, dude, come on,
dude.
Like, and I think it was so much in their head at that point. It's like, oh God, I don't care about the game. We got to make these two dudes look like fools. And I
get it completely. You want to. That's a human reaction. That is your human reaction. But since we're Tennessee and they're Ole Miss, we won the series, came back and won. I mean, top 6 series win. That okay. I'll say right now, was today's game the number 1 moment of the season so far?
Yes.
That's not even close, right?
Yeah.
I
agree.
Okay, I said this before we started. For me, when Tennessee has a win like that, a win where it's very emotional back and forth, and they get held to the brink of death, and then they find a way to win. I feel like that game obviously the season's been going for a while now, but it almost feels like, okay, now we're starting, It's like that's when everyone gets it now, and it's such a big moment, man.
Joshy boy, we'll get to your comment in a little bit. It says, also, Randy, does it feel like we let Ole Miss run a lot base pass? I guess base pass this weekend.
We can't always let people run the base pass.
It's every team. It's every single team. So,
and especially
that's always been a problem.
We threw one guy out today.
I know.
I was happy as hell, man.
but Joshy boy, that's always been a problem since like the last 4 years.
I would say errors were a big issue this weekend, but that was for both teams because the wind was crazy.
Yeah,
but
not
all of them on us. And how many pointless reviews? Like there were so many reviews, and you could honestly say that a couple of them may have got overturned, but we didn't because there's crappy cameras here, and it's not MLB Sunday Night Baseball cameras, so nothing got overturned. But
it's where I feel like.
Oh, this is what I want to question. I want to ask you.
Go.
Does Tennessee win this series if they don't lose that series to A&M last week?
Do they win this series?
Yeah.
That's hard. I just think they had a crappy series.
You don't think it was kind of like a wake-up call and like, okay, we're turning on?
Yes, I think it kind of was a wake up call of like, hey, any team could come in here and embarrass us. But I also believe at the same time that back to back on that day when we had that one just terrible game against them, and then you have to turn around and play another game when you're still in that mindset. I mean, these are college kids; they're not professionals, so it's that's where I'm at with that. But I think that yes, it was a wake up call. 100% was a wake up call. But I
I
don't think it really affected the way they would have played this weekend. But in a sense, it was eye opening for them. Like I don't know. I'm in the middle. I'm in
I
the middle.
remember I remember when we lost that series to A&M. I immediately said, "Oh man, I hate this so much if I'm an Ole Miss fan because I just think I mean I think you win game one regardless because Liam had that beef or just I, it's not really even a beef with Ole Miss. It was more just more or less just I'm that MFer and I'm gonna respond to all these guys hating me, you know?
Well, yeah, but I just also think like our coach is Tony Vitello, and the amount of times that I looked over that game today, I was like, "We're losing this," and they don't. It's the Tennessee teams, and I gotta kind of sit here and remind myself, dude, stop getting angry at games this season. Like we just won a national title, and you get a taste of it. You get a taste of the national title, and
No,
you want more.
now
You
we know
want
what it's
more.
like, right? Now
Yes,
we know. Now we know what
yes,
it's like when, like, sometimes you beat Alabama, or I guess they don't have many of that, but after they won a title, sometimes you beat someone after they won a title, and in the back of your head, you're like, does it really matter to them? I mean, they just won a national title. How
yeah,
bad could
yeah.
this really hurt? But it does. You are angry, and because you still seek some validation, like it's like we have to prove we haven't, fallen off because of
They
this.
and
And,
this
and
team
and
they
by
have
the way,
not.
usually that is how it goes. Every team since I think three of the champions before us had followed up their championship season with a more or less disappointing one. I know LSU almost made Omaha when they had that late run of the year, but they were a 3 seed in the postseason. Uh, so I more or less this is so far. If Tennessee keeps this pace up, they'll be the first team to really truly follow up a national championship season with a just as good, almost as good regular season, and
Well,
we'll see what happens in the postseason.
so you asked me the question. You asked me the question: was the Texas A&M series the reason why we won this series, or played like we did in this series? The first game, a dud. The second game didn't play very well. Came back, came back in the last game of the series, which was today. I believe that kind of what you said a minute ago, where you said, was this the most? What did you say about the game? Was this the craziest? Not the craziest game, but like the most like.
Was this like one of the first all caps Tennessee baseball weekends of the year. I think this is the biggest moment of the year so far.
Yeah, okay, so that's what I meant. Biggest moment. I think that not losing to Texas A&M is what jolts us. I think this game, being up 7-3, blowing it, coming back and winning it, that is the moment where I think wakes us up of like, dude, we're a good baseball team.
Hmm.
Like that, I think this game, not Texas A&M, I think this game right here is the game where you saw terrible things happen, blowing a lead, and you came back and you overcame that and you won the game. I think that moment right there was more eye opening than A&M, in my opinion.
I don't even know, to be honest. I don't know if you'll find a more entertaining series all season than this
That
one.
was
That
awesome.
that was drama day in day out. Honestly, that game too was almost as great if we could have just cashed in a little more in the seventh and eighth because we had the bases loaded twice,
Yeah.
and we kind of just came up short there. But if you just mix in one more little thing our way, that's a down to the wire game too, and So this was such a, and yeah, I think Ole Miss, this was the second highest attended series in the history of the program. It was just, this is pure cinema. This is awesome. And honestly, props to our fan base. We had so many, including DR, we had so many um, fans in the building.
Yeah,
It,
it's not a far drive for anywhere in Tennessee besides Knoxville. It's not a far drive.
yeah, sure. But
It's not
still,
far.
I guess that Memphis is right there. Yeah. So you get
Yeah,
all the alumni
Memphis.
of the West End. Honestly, this
Mm-hmm,
is an easier series. If you were an alumni in the
mm-hmm,
West End of the state, that would be a lot easier to get
mm-hmm.
to than
Oh,
a home series.
it's not far. It's like it's shorter than driving from Memphis to Nashville or Knoxville. No, Knoxville to Nashville. It's shorter. So, but I don't know, man. This team, I think that victory, the last game of the series was a big one because it just had that big feel to it. You know what I mean? Like it
They
had
had
a
that.
big feel to it.
I feel like you always under Vitello, we always have like 4 or 5 of these a year. It feels like, especially when you're done with the postseason. Like this had that Florida State. I mean, it wasn't that great, but it had a little bit of that Florida State, Omaha feeling.
Well,
Uh,
it's like when you're watching a regular season like basketball game in college, and you hear like Dick Vitale and them like this has a Final Four type feel to it. Like that's kind of what it felt like this series. It had a Omaha type feel to it. Like it felt big.
every game had everyone standing up
Yes.
the whole time. It had the managers cussing the umpires out. It had everything. It had
Mhm.
the uh it had something weird to it with the wind. The wind was crazy, man. That there were
Mhm.
so many homers that wouldn't have been homers because of the wind, and outs that weren't caught because of the wind. It
Yeah.
was that was, and you had the obviously the drama of him returning. I honestly, if you're Ole Miss, man, you can't lose that series. That would suck, especially up in the ninth inning. God bless, man. That would, man, I'd be so,
Losers.
I would be red ass as hell, man, if I were an Ole Miss fan.
Losers.
Yeah,
God. Oh,
yeah.
you would they are pissed
In their
off.
house,
They are pissed. And I'm here
couldn't
for it.
even.
Stay pissed,
If
my
I were
friend.
Tennessee, I expect a sweep. You know,
Gosh.
that. It's a shame. It's a shame.
I just
It was beautiful, man.
that first night where my mind's blank, pitcher's name first night.
Liam Doyle.
Liam Doyle, sorry. Liam Doyle comes in and just shreds them up, basically.
God, I love that kid.
And every single time he would strike one out, he would look at our he would look at our he would look at our team and just like and it just made Ole Miss so mad when he would look at Tony Vitello and the whole team standing over there to the side, and he was just yell it made them so pissed off.
It is like Chase Burns coming to our house and doing that to us. That is literally what happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Good example.
beautiful, man.
Good example. That's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of Chase Burns the way he screams like that. But that dude, I love him. Like
He's psycho.
He comes out to drop kick Murphy. He's got the clearly Irishman little rage to him, and he has that Max Scherzer look in his eye, like psycho, like don't fucking talk to me, dude.
Yeah.
I'm so locked in right now.
He like he
I like that kid.
He sits there and like talks to himself before he pitches. He's like,
I'm be straight with you. I have a really good feeling this kid's going to be great in the pros. I think this kid's going to be a guy everyone knows his name. Like, is it going to be like, oh, we're playing Doyle this week? Okay. Oh man, could you imagine being from New Hampshire, being Irish? Could you imagine he plays for the Red Sox? That'd be so awesome.
yeah.
I'm a Braves fan, but that man should be a Boston Red Sox. He'd be so perfect. They would make it build a statue for that kid if he's lives up to what he could be.
Mm-hmm. And then we can't forget. Let's close it out. You can't forget our old softball team.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee Lady Vols softball team. If you haven't watched, I watched the game yesterday. That they're very fun, very entertaining, very fun. And if you haven't watched softball or been to a softball game, dude, that is the funnest thing to go to if you've never been to a softball game. It is so much fun to go to and so much fun to watch too. But the Tennessee softball team, for the first time ever in program history, went on the road and beat a number one team in Texas. And they beat them twice. So
It took
they
series.
took the series, beat them twice. It's the first time ever they beat a road team, number one team ever. And they beat them twice. So they have a series win over Texas, the number one team in the country, in Oklahoma, which is like the number 2 or 3 team in the country. So they have the number 2 team in the country. So they have series wins over number 1 team in the country and number 2 team in the country. And Tennessee, I believe, is number 5 in the country. I believe they're number 5. But if you haven't watched them when they're on TV, please do it or go to the games because it is really fun to watch. It's a different vibe. It's so different. It's so different. It's so much fun. People are screaming and yelling the entire time. It's way different than any other sporting event you've probably gone to at UT. But I've been to several softball games and they're very, very fun. So, but yeah, that's pretty cool, man. I mean, that's you beat the crap out of you take the series number 1, number 2 team in the country. So that's pretty legit.
It was a great weekend, man. Obviously it's been a weird weekend, but I'll tell my little story. I just didn't get to see any of the spring game outside of the highlights posted because it's like an hour before the game, and I'm just kind of walking around and I see somebody and okay, these are old shorts I'm wearing. I've owned these shorts for about I don't know 7 years, and they're J. Crew. They're good quality shorts, but and I'm like walking over to someone and I kind of have to like step over something to get to them, and I got my hands in my pocket when I'm doing this, and I do the step and I hear, and I look down, just huge freaking hole in my pants, and it's so close to kickoff. I'm just like, I think I'm just gonna go home. So I didn't get to see any of the spring game. If you saw me walk around with my underwear showing, thank you for not posting about it, I guess. But I don't care if you did. It would be very on par if you did. But, yeah, that's my little story for the weekend. I did not attend any UT sporting events because of that.
Well, okay, so we have about 2 minutes left before we hit the 1 hour mark. But Austin, you didn't watch it, but I've got to talk about it real quick because the Masters. Holy hell. I know you had it on your TV while you're watching the baseball game.
I saw the ending. I missed the crazy part.
One of the most insane back nine on the final Sunday I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, you talking about people, Roy McIlroy having a sure end when you're like, oh, there's no way he messes this up. He did. He has a terrible hole, hits it in the water, bogeys, double bogeys. Like it's a wild scenario because like, oh, he has it. He definitely has it. And then next thing you know, it's a 3-way tie on the leaderboard between three dudes. And then one of the dudes, Aberg, just falls apart too. And then you have it's the most insane ending to a Masters in a long time. Long time. And I know you don't watch a lot of golf, Austin, but man, dude, that if you ever try to get into golf, like just watch one Masters and you'll get into golf. Like you will literally
I did kind of feel like I was so into our baseball game at the time, and I did actually plan on watching it, but our game got so crazy that I couldn't pay attention. And then it was over. I did pay attention to the last playoff, the only playoff shot, but yeah,
the playoff hole. But it's just it's one of those.
Sorry, I'm trying. Okay,
I know, but
I'm new here.
So you have Justin Rose that finished second. Justin Rose, he's been in golf. I feel like a million years. He's only 44 years old. Feels like he's been in golf for like a century. But it's so wild because you never know who's going to be up there in the end. Like you cannot predict it. It's crazy. If you would have told me that Justin Rose was going to be in a playoff against Rory, I'd be like, dude, there's no way Justin Rose is going to be in a playoff against Rory. It was so crazy, and the emotion when Rory wins it. It's the whole emotional. It's so emotional because Rory is the sixth player in PGA Tour history to win the Grand Slam. The last time it happened was in 2000 with Tiger Woods. The previous time it happened, last time it happened was 1966. It's so rare. So you got to watch history. It's so cool, man. God, it was cool. So cool. And the crowd is just out of their mind. Like, it's another level of fandom. It's crazy. All the angles that the Masters give you of the crowd when someone hits a shot. Like, I'm trying to explain it to you also, like, in the best way I can.
I do know it. It's weird. Like, it's just because I don't follow it regularly. I need to. That I do get it though. I do that. This I get. WWE I'm a little off on, but this I do get. For what's I did watch. I did watch. I watched very very much so that when Tiger won it last. But I hate to say it's the only time of the year I watch golf, but it is. It's more or less. It's not because I dislike golf. It's just I'm married and I feel like I already watch so much sports as it is. And I don't know if I can fit one more sport in there. I swear to God, I don't know if I can. If I might regularly watch golf if I just found a way to do it without just, yeah, it's a little bit difficult.
It's the most simple sport to watch too, which is crazy to me. But I get it. My wife, she said,
my wife,
she said golf is boring. She watched the Masters and was like, holy crap, that was awesome.
See, I never said it's boring. Here's my thing. I'll never say, like, okay, maybe a little bit of NASCAR. A little bit of NASCAR boring for until the very end, okay? But golf and all, if you get it, you get it. Because it pisses me off to no other when people say baseball's boring. Because it's like,
exactly.
Just say you don't get it. Don't tell me it's boring. Because you're just wrong.
You don't get it.
Yeah.
You don't get it. But yeah, man. That was one of the coolest Masters I've watched in a very long time. 2019 when Tiger Woods won it, buddy, that was like the sheer happiness I've been, because Tiger Woods is my favorite athlete ever on the planet Earth. So that was awesome. But from a pure
now that Nico's gone,
exactly, yeah. But from a pure entertainment standpoint, today, final Sunday of the Masters was the most insane thing, from just every bit of it, from people, just the scoreboard changing left and right. It was crazy. It was wild. Best Masters I've seen in a long time. But anyway,
yep. It was and by the way, I just want to put out there, LSU got swept by Auburn, and Arkansas did drop it on at Georgia. So a lot of craziness around the SEC, but we'll see. I think Tennessee will be number 2 in the country when the polls come out. We'll see.
They'll be 2 or 3. So
that really speaks to how impressive it is that Tennessee won this series, because I mean, LSU is just on the upper echelon, just like us, and they go in and get swept at Auburn.
Yep.
Actually, shoot, Auburn now back-to-back sweeps over LSU and
watch out.
Alabama.
Watch out! Watch out for the War Eagle fighting Tigers.
Yeah, a little mini big green monster out there.
Well, all right, man. Been a fun podcast. We'll do it again next week. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for listening to us blab the whole time. Good night. Peace out. Go Vols. God bless. Bye-bye.
Screw you, Big Nick. That loser.